So hi everybody and welcome back to Sunrange 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 95 and in this video we have to talk again about player die because I changed that, and we will talk about bugs. So let's start with bugs. In my offline work I tested this gameplay here several times and I found many bugs which we have to work around or to fix and see how we can fix this. But this kind of things we will do later probably. And yeah, just as an info, it could be that some nodes are not proper working. For example, the do once node, which I often use, is sometimes not working properly with, let's say, with gates or something like that. And sometimes my spawn here of this Kraken worked also not. And yeah, there are many things which I have to test and show you how we can fix it. So that was the general rule. There are many bugs, be aware of this, but don't worry, we will fix them. But before we fix them, let's concentrate us still on the main things which we have to implement and then fix all the bugs later so that it can work all together. So the next thing is, like I said, our player die, which we already made, I changed a little bit. Instead of using now the tentacle skeletal mesh, that was this one here, here's our Kraken, or let's say more our tentacles here, which we want to use. And I set it up so that when you use the tentacles, the player, when he walks into the tentacles, that the collision box is overlapping with the tentacles and we are dying. And I changed this. Instead of using now the skeletal mesh here, I added, you can see, this collision box. So what I just did is we go here on the left side, components, you go here to the add, you write collision or just call, and then you have here three options. One is box collision, capsule collision, sphere collision. I choose just the box collision. And you add this, and after you add it, you have here this box, rename it like you want. And then I have just scaled it up, you can see, so that it is here around. And the question is now, okay, why I did this? And the reason for that is I want that when a player comes near to the tentacles, let's go back here again. So I'm here the player and I come very close to the tentacles, that I will die on a certain distance. Because if I make just overlapping, this tentacles are not hitting me and I can stay very close and still not die, and I don't want that. So after a certain distance, you can see in my case this distance, if you are coming too close to these tentacles, you will still die. That's why I used here this box. So now we know why I use this, and the nice thing is to replace this very easy. Like I said, you just add this collision box, then you switch to your event graph, and then we made already this one here. What you have to do is just, instead using the skeleton box, you can delete this one and then select your box here. Then on the details panel, scroll down and then use this on component begin overlap. Then you get this box, or like old time, you can use it here on the left side too. When you right click and add event here, it's the same thing like here. It's just shorter if you want. But after you added this one, you have this box on component begin overlap, and then you do the same thing like before. Cast to the third person character, because we want overlap with the third person character, and then you call again, like last time, this widget die animation and camera shake. That was what we already set up, and you need this call from your player character. So in my case, it's the horror engine character, it's my player character. From there, we set it up in this place. I set it up, so I have to get this there. And when I open this one, and you know this, we already have this. All right, with that said, let's go where we are again. That was this one. So this one was in our tentacles, in my case the Kraken blueprint. And what you see here in the middle actually is just a do once node, but differently. So this do once node, like I said, normally it works fine, but there was something strange happening, and I'm a little bit more skeptical about this do once node. Normally it will work, but there was a bug, and then I said, okay, instead of using the do once node, I make it absolute sure. I make it the old way, and the old way is you create a variable. You can see you create just a Boolean variable. So you go here on the left side, click plus, and then create a Boolean variable, and then call it what you want. You see, I called it test. That was just for test purposes. And then you compile, create this variable, compile, then you go select it again, go here on the details panel, check which start condition you want, close or ticked or not ticked. Tick means true, unticked means false. And then you call here just a branch, connect it, and then this one here, because I start here with tick, will, when I overlap it, it's going through, it is tick means true, so it will true, and after this one, I get this created variable here again, but this time a set. Set means now I want change this condition which I have here, and in my case I want set it to false, and you can see if this one is called again, I have changed this variable here. If I overlap it again, for example, it will be false here, and we can call this again. And why I'm doing this one, because you can overlap this box more times. There is sometimes, let's say you go here on the corner, I overlap it from here, and then I overlap it from the other side as well. So it can happen that you overlap it more times, and I want to prevent this. That's the reason why I do this. So it is just a do once node. This is the old way. This is the shorter way. Actually, the node is better, and I just don't use it because, like I said, I have to test it. There was a bug with a gate later, and yeah, I have to test it. But in general, normally you can use do once node, but in my case, I use this one. We will talk anyway about bugs and so on much more. So with that said, we go back, and then you can test again what you created. So when I start here again, play from here.
Let's see if I find this.
Here we are. And when I run again, let's grab here the pistol perps. Just for fun. I put there just for test purposes a pistol on the table. And then...
What was that?
So there... Sometimes I had here a bug that this tentacles come not out, but perhaps it was just because there was a strange setup, because this overlapping problem we will have. But let's test now our problem. When I run into this one, I will die. Or let's make it other way around. When it comes to close, I won't die. For example, let's throw it here. Let me run here first. So you can see I was now too close. That was bad. So you can see on a certain distance I die, because I want not that the player can too close to this tentacles. This is more or less simulating that this tentacles touch you, and then the tentacle realize there is something and I kill this something, whatever it is. Alright, I think that's enough for this video. And let me say this as well. I worked offline already a little bit, and there are many changes probably, but don't worry, we will go step through and fix some bugs there as well. Alright, with that said, like all time, if you have any questions or any complaints or any suggestions, write in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye, good luck, and like all time, have fun and never give up. See you.